Welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
My name's Jordan D. White, and I'm here visiting from Earth 1218, this world that we all live in.
Oh, is it 1218 already? Oh, boy.
I'm also an editor at Marvel Comics.
Right. Well, thank you, Jordan, for returning to the show. It's great to have you back. I know you were kind of in the wings. You were like, hey, I like Solo. And I was like, oh, great. And I'm like, I'm going to have you on. And then here you are.
I love it. I just did my movie ranking on the Facebook group. Mm-hmm. And it's weird to say I love it and then say I put it fifth, but I put it fifth, and that's pretty good.
Yeah,
you can still you love all the top five.
That's I absolutely do that, because that's after that would be A New Hope, Force Awakens, Last Jedi. No, sorry, New Hope, Force Awakens, Empire Strikes Back, Last Jedi, Solo.
Yeah.
So I mean I put it before Return of the Jedi, which there you go.
I probably
it's the world we're living
too.
in now.
I don't know. I can't think in a ranking since it's dynamic.
Yeah, that's true.
Since we're halfway through one, I can't really think of a ranking, but I probably would too. Last time I was tough. Don't ask me to do that. Come on.
Starting with the hard questions.
Well, hey, you know what? What I can ask you to do is help us talk about minute 66. That's right. We're going to execute minute 66 of
Love it.
Solo, a Star Wars party. 66 starts with Beckett destroying that little guy. He's destroying that little guy. And it ends with Han saying, well, I thought we'd blank. So everybody get ready. We're going to write down our answers in between episodes. We'll reveal them tomorrow and see what we came up with, see if we get a match. But Han says, well, I thought we'd blank.
I got mine.
You already voted. Oh, wow.
I like that we get to see a little tour of the Millennium Falcon. Alex, I know that must really please you too, because you're always about.
Whoa! We're not starting with a tour of the Millennium Falcon yet. We still got the end of the chess match to discuss.
Oh, sure. If you want to talk about that, I figured we did that to death, but
well,
sure, go ahead.
Well, so there's a little bit of a. So Beckett says somehow I never get tired of winning, which is a great cocky line to say. But so this also, after the game's over, Chewie loses as usual and gets mad. And then he starts like trying to wreck the holograms. And he goes, those are holograms. You're not going to knock them off. And Chewie does it a couple of more times. Does Chewie not know what holograms are? I don't know if I would trust this guy in a you know.
I mean, it's mixed messages about Wookiees, where like Wookiees seem so technologically savvy, but here he seems like a bumpkin.
Yeah. So,
I mean, although to be fair, his son was pretty impressed by those holograms doing flips.
That's true. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah. Well, this is years before that, so maybe he hadn't seen them. Maybe this is their new technology. Although I feel like we saw them in, although in Hollow Chess, maybe we haven't seen before.
Well, this seems to be the first time he's ever played. Like that was the feeling I got from it.
Yeah.
And then he buys one for his house, which is how he gets better at it. Because we see, he has, it's like he totally like, oh man, he goes home. He's like, check out what I saw. Like, it's the best.
Or I was going to say the opposite. I was going to say he goes home and tells Lumpy, like, oh, I found this really cool hologram game. And he's like, Dad, that's like a, like 4 games ago. That's like, coming home and raving about you discovered Tetris on the,
it's the new thing.
Yeah.
But have you seen this Wii? They got a Wii, and you hold a thing and you go. That's what Chewbacca's coming home saying.
But I think if Lando's got this system, it's the new system.
No, Lando's not a system.
Like his Falcon's decked out. So I think I don't think he's putting the PlayStation 3 in this thing. Like he's going all the way.
Yeah.
Right.
And also we get to see Beckett kind of putting a hat on a hat. He's like it's more him teaching lessons to because he's trying to teach Chewie the same way that he's trying to teach Han about stuff. So
right.
He's teaching what holograms are.
I love him in this movie. I've just forgotten his stupid name.
Chewbacca?
Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson.
That's too long. I'm not going to say all that. I'm just going to call him Chewie.
I love Woody in this. I think he's so good in the role. He's great at being a rascal.
Yeah.
And since you brought him up, I've been asking people what are some of your other favorite Woody Harrelson roles?
Oh wow. That's a toughie because like it makes me go like, do I actually know that many? Like, I mean, what do I know him in? I know him. He was. I want to say he's great in the Hunger Games. He doesn't have that much to do, but I like the Hunger Games movies.
I totally forgot he was in that.
Yeah. Well, he plays the drunkard.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like No Country for Old Men.
drunkard.
I forget he's in that too. So,
Is he?
yeah.
No, I've never seen that. Obviously,
he was an
obviously
uncredited
Cheers.
extra in Harper Valley PTA.
All right.
Okay.
That first season of oh my God, what's the name of the show?
Cheers.
Yes, the first season of Cheers that he wasn't in.
He wasn't in that, but he was good.
He was great.
Oh, I thought he was playing coach in those seasons. I thought that was all like elaborate makeup and
Right.
He's Ben
very
Button
well
in it.
True Detective, of course. That's what I was looking for.
Right.
He was really good in that. I mean, that was an amazing season of television when that was happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
So,
I guess I'd go with that would be the best one. I mean, I remember loving Cheers when I was young, and I loved Woody in Cheers when I was young because he was a dummy and like I was a kid. So there you go.
Yeah. And you like him in Solo.
I do. I think he's great in Solo. Like I think he fits the role so well, and he's a charming guy. I can't believe I forgot one. Natural Born Killers. I was a big fan of that movie when I was in like college. I was like huge into that movie, so I watched it a million times. That makes me sound sane.
Totally. No. I agree. Total side note that I was reading that book, The 90s by Chuck Klosterman, and he goes on and has a whole chapter about. Well, he was talking about Tarantino, but I was also talking about Natural Born Killers and True Romance. And I've never seen True Romance, but I saw Natural Born Killers and I liked it at the time. But his premise of that chapter seems to be like Natural Born Killers was terrible and everybody loves True Romance. I was like, all right, I don't remember that being the case. But,
yeah, I wouldn't say that's true. I mean, it's certainly. It's really weird and it's really Oliver Stoney. Like it's like the most Oliver Stone you can get. Like he gets really trippy and psychedelic, but I don't know, it's pretty impressive in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Plus it's got Rodney Dangerfield.
So yes, because it has Rodney Dangerfield. And if only Rodney Dangerfield had made it to be in Solo, who would he play? He would have played
Rio, maybe.
Yeah, he could have pulled that off.
I mean, I would have loved him as I forget. I would have loved him as Dryden Voss.
Oh yeah,
because he would have had that great thing where he would be funny, but he also has that air of menace behind him.
Right,
hey, listen, kid, you don't come back with that coaxium. I'm gonna have to fill you full of holes.
I love it. Oh, that's amazing.
All right, let's deep fake that. Somebody make that happen.
Well, who's the modern Rodney Dangerfield? Like James Corden? Is he the modern Rodney Dangerfield?
No.
Is he?
Rodney Dangerfield had some like edge and some grit to him, right?
So yeah. Anyway,
I don't know.
Let us know in the comments who you think should play the Rodney Dangerfield role in Star Wars. So now we get the tour. The tour of we get the Han Solo walking around the Falcon.
Yeah, right. Falcon. I do catch myself saying Falcon a lot, and I have to correct myself. I know that is false.
It's a regional accent.
It's false.
But so I saw a YouTube video where they were talking about this, and they pointed out how, like, again, they can't even pronounce Princess Leia's name the same every time in the movie, but Falcon is never said any other way than Falcon, even though, like, that's not how you say it in the real world.
Falcon?
It's Falcon.
Well, you could do like,
does anybody say Falcon? I don't know. Maybe people do say Falcon. I've never heard anybody say Falcon in real life.
I've said before, I'm from the area where the Thurston Howell accent comes from, and that I feel like Thurston Howell would definitely say the William Falcon,
Peregrine Falcon.
But about the Falcon, I love it. So one of the things I have to say about my love of this movie is that it's definitely colored by the fact that, but while it was being made, I was still working with Lucasfilm on the Star Wars comics. So I read the script to this movie before it ever came out. It was pretty much intact. Like, I don't like a lot of the, like, when I read the Last Jedi script, like, it was huge things were missing. Like they were like, you don't get to know what happens here. But this one was pretty much intact, probably because it is a prequel, to be fair.
Right.
Well, so they held stuff back, not that stuff was changed in between.
Oh no, yeah, no, they were like when Snoke gets killed, right? Like they didn't have that in the script.
Yeah,
sorry, like they just they skipped over that part. Whereas in this, like, they had the whole movie. And the other thing that was really fun about it is that I hadn't seen Alden Ehrenreich enough to picture him, but I just imagined Harrison Ford perfectly when I was reading it.
Right.
Woody Harrelson, I knew he played that role, so I was like, okay, I'm picturing him perfectly. And then oddly, Lando, like I knew Lando and I knew Donald Glover well enough to be like, I can sort of hear this in both, and that was really fun. But imagining the movie with Harrison Ford in it, I had such a blast. And when they got to the fact, and when they were doing the walkthrough for me, and they showed us that the Falcon was not a piece of junk,
right,
I was so over the moon. I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. Now, again, I know there are people, for everything I love about this movie, there's probably as many or more people who think, no, that's dumb. I hated when that happened. And that's fine. But I loved it. So to me, the Pristine Falcon is amazing. The fact that it's got a thing in the front,
Falcon,
the Pristine Falcon, the fact that it's got a thing in the front, I love it. The fact that it's white, the fact that all the walls are white and the seats are not ripped and stained. Like, I love it. I think it's so cool. We have a stuffed animal of the Falcon. It's not an animal. Stuffed starship of the Falcon that I bought.
Well, Falcon is an animal. So.
Yeah, that I bought for my son, and it came with a little tiny stuffed Chewie and Han as well. And he's had those. He loves it. I've always wanted to get the Lego of this version of the Falcon. But because Solo came out well before I got into Star Wars Legos, it's pretty pricey at this point to get that.
Yeah.
But maybe someday. I adore it. I think this is so great looking.
Yeah, I love the clean wall pads and all the other and just getting to see it as like a new car. I wonder if it's got a new car smell. I don't know how new it is comparatively.
No,
it's not very new, but it's clean at least.
Yeah.
It's
plus
kept.
Also that new, if he just I have a feeling that he has not owned the Falcon for a long time.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Well, like specifically, we walk into Lando's bedroom here in the scene, and like his bed is like.
We don't walk into his bedroom.
Yeah, that's his bedroom.
That's his bedroom.
You see his bed.
Where he walks in.
I thought that was the injury bed from.
No. I mean, maybe it is an Empire, but
I think it's like a guest bed. I think it's like the spare room.
The Solo
Alex,
official guide
Solo
listed
official
as
guide.
the captain's quarters. So,
all right.
I know his capes are right there. So
well, yeah, we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not going to keep his capes in the guest room or the medical room. But wait, but what about his room makes you think that he didn't live there long?
Well, like I picture Lando having a fancier, nicer bed than that. This seems like something you get at IKEA, and Lando strikes me as like a high thread count plush. Like he should have a water bed or something. You know what I mean? Maybe it is. We don't see anyone sit on it. Maybe it does go, but it just seems a little basic for Lando's bedroom. If you picture, if someone says Lando Calrissian's bedroom, what do you picture? You're picturing draperies and purple velvet and like a pad, you know?
It does match the colors though. Like it's the same color as all the stuff, the places to sit elsewhere on the Falcon, right?
Right, because I think that's how when he got it, that's what it looked like, and he put some stuff in, but it's still not like as. I think if he had owned the Falcon for another 20 years, it would be like anyway. That's just what I think.
I mean, he doesn't like live there all the time though. It's just he flies it around. It's not like his house.
I don't know. I mean, didn't Han and Chewie kind of live in it? Did they have a house?
Yes, but they're like bums.
they're like homeless people sleeping in their cars, basically.
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
he has a bed in it. Right? He must sleep in it sometime. So you're just saying it's a kind of sleeper just in case of emergencies.
Not or just long trips, like he does go on long trips and he has that there, but it's not his.
But the fact that it's his travel bed make all the more reason why it should be a plush pad because he's trying to impress the chicks with it. Anyway, it's just
okay. Think of it. What about it's like a room in a yacht?
Right.
Like maybe you don't have. Well, okay, you're looking skeptical, but I was thinking it's got the berth that's built into the wall. Like you can put a blanket on it, but it's not. You can't like put a waterbed in there, like unless it's a $1 billion yacht, which I guess they do exist.
Right. Yeah. It's not a super yacht. It's the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Plus, you don't want a waterbed on a boat because then it's double. You get double water. And it's just solid.
Maybe it evens out. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Like I'm looking at his room right now. I'm looking at the layout. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of stuff. We've we don't see a lot of beds in the movies, do we?
That's a good question. Let's see. We see Anakin's bedroom.
Right.
And it's obviously pretty spare.
We see Padme's bedroom a couple of times.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty elaborate, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's
she's
fancy.
she's a queen / senator, so.
Right.
Okay.
I guess we don't see Anakin's bedroom. Every time we see Anakin waking up from nightmares, he's in Padme's bed, right?
Oh yeah, adult Anakin. No, we never see the Jedi barracks or whatever you would call them.
I wonder what they must be pretty simple beds.
There's
though.
Yoda's bed in his hut in Dagobah.
Oh, die? Yeah, we see him die in his theoretically his bed.
We see his
that's probably like
bed.
that's probably like a futon kind of thing where he can kind of.
We never see Luke's bed, right? Like we never see his room. We just see his like work room.
In Tatooine,
Yeah, on Tatooine.
Well, we do see, as you mentioned, we see a couple of medical beds throughout the thing.
I mean, in a sense, we see Jabba's bed, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
He just sleeps wherever.
Everything's a bed if you want a bed enough.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. So, but the fact that we see Padme's and hers is elaborate, because I was gonna say maybe beds in this universe are not very decorated, but hers was pretty fancy, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so yeah, Han walks into the bedroom and he sees Kira trying on capes.
Yes.
Is that the cape from Empire?
I think so. She tries on the Lando cape, I wrote.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Yeah.
There's
It's
a
blue on the
inside
outside with gold on the inside and a black
Yeah.
little thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the Lando cape. So
Like, yes, of course. I mean, again, I love that. I think that's fun and cute. That's why people hate this movie as well. So there you are.
Well, it's the thing. It's not like I'm usually okay with it if it's not derailing the movie. We're not going to stop and be like cape, like
yeah.
Well, they do talk about that.
They do talk about like, oh, there's a lot of capes, but because it's it's within his character. All right, so this is where I wrote I was like, well, do I hate that or do it's oh well, we saw him wear a cape, so Lando is like all about capes and he's just got a thing for capes and he's got all these capes.
No
and
trouble.
That yeah. And I'm like that seems pretty one note for a character that you just see him with that, and then it's like, all right, let's what he's got a lot of capes, and then I thought,
yeah,
yep, I'm covered in hats. I've got hats aplenty. I'm look at this. So,
hey,
yeah, you're very cliche.
It's reality.
We saw you wearing a hat, and we go, hey, that guy just.
If anything,
hats.
it's kind of so that's another reason why I don't think Lando has had this ship long, because I feel like Lando would have more capes than that.
Well, I don't know. There's a good amount there.
That's a lot of capes.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be more. What is it, like 30 capes?
Yeah, but how many do you
No.
need? Like,
Pete, how many hats do you own, Pete?
I don't know. I just dumped them out. I can't count them now.
But you
Yeah,
own
but
more
how
than
many do
that,
you take
though.
on
You must own a lot. You must own 100 hats.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
I'm just surprised
see
that
if I
you
can
would have
count. I'm going to have to
that-
pick this up, so I'll count at some point.
yeah.
Well, then in that case, maybe you're right. Maybe this is the guest room, and
In
he's
that
got
capes.
another closet full of capes in his main room.
They're all in the shuttle that's in the front. That's where the real cape closet is, because those are the ones you want to make sure are
Right. Well, it's like,
good.
by the front door. It's like you get the ones that you wear all the time, and these are like special occasion capes.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, these are just your workaday capes.
Right.
He's a fancy guy. Like, okay. Well, so to keep in the trend of, do we see this a lot in Star? Like, how many other people wear capes? Like, you got
we see a
Boba
lot of
Fett.
capes in Star Wars.
Okay, so that is a
Right.
little weird then that he happens to be all about capes, because it's like, oh, there may be a lot of people. I mean, that's a lot of people wear hats, right? Like a lot of people have a lot of hats. I don't know. Because you're right. There's a lot of capes. Darth Vader wears a cape.
Darth
every
Vader,
time we see him.
Krennic, Phasma. Even Kira's wearing a cape in the last scene.
Well, but she pulls it out of here. She's wearing one of these capes.
Yeah.
Dooku, right? Where's the cape?
Dude, is it? I think it's kind of Did she check with Lando before trying on capes? That seems kind of forward to me to go into someone's closet and start trying on capes. But am I being too uptight?
Well, you know what? But she's like the right hand of a crime boss. She gets to do
what's
what
Lando
she
gonna
wants.
do?
That's true. Yeah.
She just drops him on the floor when she's done and just leaves
Right.
everything a mess. She's like,
Yeah. Send the cleaning bill to Dryden Voss. Hey, well, I got this bill for what? That turned into like Jackie Mason. I don't know why Jackie Mason is suddenly Dryden Voss, but
We'll try out everybody. They had
Yeah.
to do a lot of casting when they replaced what's his name, Michael K. Williams.
right.
So I looked up, and Jordan, you might know the answer to this, given that you
Let's see.
were, well, maybe not. It's maybe after your term. Do you know what happened? What is As of the what's that new movie called? The sequel era.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yes, that one.
What is going on with what's in that room now? Spice?
I read that. Do you have an answer?
What's
I do have the
what's
answer,
in the
but-
captain's
I have the answer,
chambers?
too.
I mean, is it not the captain's chambers?
No,
then?
what is in
The
the
cape
cape
closet.
the cape closet?
Oh, the cape closet. I mean, okay. No, I would have assumed that it was still a closet for clothes, just not as many capes. But
The answer will both delight and sadden you.
Yeah.
oh no, okay, let's hear it.
Pete, you want to reveal the answer?
Well, I will just say that I think it comes from the Rise of Skywalker novelization. So we'll get there.
So
next
that
year,
should
maybe.
tell you what you're getting into right here. Apparently, Han Solo reveals that as soon as he got the ship, he tore all the closet stuff out and gave it to Chewie to use as his bedroom.
Oh no.
So Chewie's a regular
Why?
Harry Potter. He lives in the cupboard under the stairs.
I mean, it's a big closet, but gee
Yeah.
willikers.
Well, we
That's
don't
not-
know. Maybe Wookiees like sleeping in a more, it's like a dog sleeping in a kennel. They like kind of being in a more enclosed space. They feel safer having a
I
smaller
guess
room.
that's very much in keeping with the Chewie as dog.
Yeah.
Also in the sense of like Han is like, this is my room, and hey, you sleep where I can see you at all times. Like you don't have privacy
Yeah.
from me. We are in the same room
Right.
together.
He took the door off and just put it
Is
on.
there a door?
I'm assuming, right?
I don't see a door on it.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong. Like I mean, you can see the bedroom still when she's in there. Maybe there's
Have we
a thing
seen
that you can
doors
close.
before in Star Wars? What are some doors we've seen before? There's the one that
Doors?
closed that the stormtrooper bangs his head on. There's one
Right.
Jango Fett bangs his head on.
The one that
That's it, I
C-3PO
think.
argues with.
Yes, that's
One
right.
that they open and then close and then open, or close and then open.
Right.
Again.
The blast
Right.
doors.
Yes, the
blast doors. Yeah.
That's about it. I think that's all of them.
I like to imagine that Chewbacca tore down all the capes and then just kind of walked around in circles for a bit and then went to sleep on the pile of capes.
Made
And
like
that
a
was kind of
nest.
like he's like Big Bird. He has a big giant
Right.
nest in there.
That would be
So,
pretty great if the capes
yeah.
were still in there. If
Mm.
Han was like, oh no, I get everything.
We do know that we can assume rather, we don't
Wow.
know, but we can assume that the skiff guard outfit, the Tamtel Screege ensemble, is kept at least on the ship somewhere. Maybe not
Yeah.
in the closet, but they probably put it in like a bin,
It's probably in the
like
storage
old
compartment.
capes, and they
Yeah.
put it in like a Tupperware, and they put it back in the storage area.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Now that I will say, that's one that I'm fine seeing in this movie, but I wasn't as like, oh, that's amazing. I was kind of like, okay, all right,
Right.
okay.
Well, when I saw Kira trying on the capes, I was wondering, I went down a total rabbit hole because I was wondering, I wonder what the height difference is between Kira and Lando. Like she's putting on Lando's cape and it still seems to, obviously his capes are not floor length capes,
Right.
the way like Darth Vader has or Krennic has.
Oh yeah,
I don't
like
know.
let me see. Is it fitted to him
Well,
correctly? I don't
I
think
think
you
they
can
usually
see
hit
her.
him around like knee level. His classic cape is like a knee level cape, I
Yeah.
think.
Mhm.
If that's
Well,
true,
anyway,
then this is not
yeah.
that one, or she's way taller than I think she is because it doesn't go down to her knees. That, as far as I can tell.
Well, so the rabbit hole I went,
Or
maybe he
maybe
had it
around
let
her
out.
knees.
Maybe he had it let out since then. He gained height,
That's
so they
possible.
let it
That's
out
true.
a little bit. I went down a rabbit hole of comparing different Star Wars actors' heights.
Oh,
And I went
good.
like, so Donald Glover is 5'9". Amelia Clark is 5'2". So she's a good 7 inches shorter than, and only 5'9" on Donald Glover.
Yeah. That's average.
Hey,
Right?
that's my height. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you?
Podcasting
So
is
this
just a tall world. We get
this is how we'll this is how I will tell you two actors. You tell me who is the taller and who is the smaller. Ready?
okay.
Okay.
Carrie
all right.
Fisher and Billy Lord.
Mm.
Billy Lord is taller. Is what I meant.
Billy Lord's taller. Pete.
I
my
will agree.
Trick question. They are both the exact same height of 5'1".
Wow.
So both pretty
5'1".
small. Well, let's go address the elephant in the room. Harrison Ford versus Alden Ehrenreich.
Oh
Hmm.
gosh, I would. I feel like Harrison Ford is taller, but I have no idea if I'm right.
I would agree.
And if you and anyone want to, you are correct. You want to guess what the spread is. You want to say.
I
Let's
feel
go
like
with 6'2" and 5'10".
good. I was going around that. I don't want to Price is Right you and go like immediately under or over. So
well, you should have because
I'll concur.
You should have because Harrison Ford is 6 feet and Alden Ehrenreich 5'9".
Oh,
So Donald Glover and Alden Ehrenreich same height.
Oh.
Now what about Paul Bettany versus Ahmed Best?
Oh.
The battle of the tall, lanky people. Near human characters.
I think Ahmed Best is slightly taller.
but then I'll just go with Paul Bettany so that one of us can win.
This guy knows his Star Wars. Paul Bettany is 6'3".
Yeah, I'm an expert.
Ahmed Best and even 6 feet.
I
guess we're used to thinking of him as taller because he has that thing on his head.
The fake,
Jar Jar is taller than 6 feet.
He has like the figment hat of the Jar Jar on his head.
I don't even know if I would have known how tall Jar Jar is. Like I'm like vaguely, I'm like, yeah, I guess he was tall, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's the other thing is that with movies, I feel like it's so hard to tell because, well, whenever anybody is short, they like work really hard to make them not look short.
Yeah, people stand in trenches. People wear stand-on boxes. All sorts of.
I mean, that means Carrie Fisher's 11 inches shorter than Han Solo, than Harrison Ford. Like that's a pretty impressive difference. Yeah.
Well, that's why he was always kind of, leaning and pointing.
Well, let's go to the other extreme. What about Peter Mayhew versus Joonas New Chewbacca?
Let's say, let's say Joonas is taller. Let's go with that.
Joonas is taller.
I'll go with the representative from the Intercontinental Union of Pete's, Mr. Peter Mayhew.
Well, Pete, you are correct. Peter Mayhew's 7'3", and Joonas only 6'11". He's a kind of
tiny,
playing a Wookiee. Come on,
kind of osteoporosis. Although here's a prequel, so I guess he.
Yeah.
Anyway, who knows? What about adult Jake Lloyd versus adult Hayden Christensen?
Oh, get out of here! I mean, I'll go with Hayden.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. I don't know.
No, I'm gonna say like Jake Lloyd. Now listen, here this is based on nothing. Like there's no real way to know, but Jake Lloyd looks very short as a kid, and I don't mean he looks not like exceptionally short for a kid, but he doesn't look tall for a kid to me, is what I mean.
Right.
Whereas I feel like Hayden Christensen is tall, like he's taller than Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Well,
just even in their look, like Jake Lloyd kind of has like a round face, and Hayden Christensen kind of has a longer, angular face. So,
and obviously he grows as he gets older, but I'm gonna say he is. I'm gonna say he's still shorter than Hayden.
Pete, you agree?
Yeah,
you are both correct. Hayden Christensen and even 6 feet, same as Harrison Ford. Jake Lloyd 5'5" tall. So
now, do you also have? God,
Adam Driver and David Prowse? I do.
Kitster?
David Prowse. I was going to say David Prowse. Yes.
Adult Kitster.
Adult Kitster, TBA.
Inside the costume.
David Prowse versus Adam Driver. Okay. Battle of the Darths.
We'll find out. He's not Adam Driver's not a Darth.
Well,
that's right. He's not. He's a knight. He might as well be a Darth. Who are we kidding? Ridiculous.
I mean, I got to go with David Prowse. Like, he was hired for his build, right?
You want to guess this? You want to guess the spread? You want to guess what the height?
Let's say he's. Again, I don't really know what he's like without all that gear on, but I'm gonna say 6'5". Let's say 6'5", and I have no idea Adam Driver. Let's go with 6 feet because that's what everybody seems to be.
He is a little bit tall. I've heard. I'm gonna say Adam Driver is 6'3".
Adam Driver 6'2", David Prowse 6'6". So only 4 inches difference between those two guys.
But that does confirm that when the Emperor replaces Anakin's legs, he's like, let's add a couple inches on there. He throws on 4 inches.
Might as well.
4 inches. He throws on 6 inches. Yeah. Dang.
That's funny. I never really thought about that. That they just made his shins longer.
While you're in there.
He looks all like out of proportion. Everyone's like, "Oh, you look weird for some reason." Like he's, he's like a stork walking around with tall, skinny legs in this body.
Larry Stork.
So that is all my height information. I hope everyone appreciated it. And apologies to our non-American listeners who are like 6 feet. I don't know what this means.
They're sitting there trying to do the conversions.
Yeah. Pete, you're a metric guy. I was kind of hoping you were going to be able to, on the spot, just convert those into metric.
I'm new at this, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I think that's about like,
So-
like 15 degrees?
Yeah, about 1,000 hours?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't have time for that.
That's all I got for minute 66.
Me too. Injury bed. That's a lot of capes. You got to say it like that because they do say it, and I feel like I have to add it in like that. That's a lot of capes.
That's going to be one of the lines you say from the quotes from this movie that lives on in your life.
Oh boy, that's a lot of capes. That would have been my read on it if I was.
Oh
Han
boy,
Solo?
that's a lot of capes.
Oh boy, that's a lot of capes.
You sound like that Simpsons guy that like I don't know if he has a name. The kind of like Hank Azaria, like, hey buddy, you better watch where you're going.
yeah.
Like that kind of a voice. That's what you sound like. Oh, it's a lot of capes.
That's a lot of capes. But yeah, that was it for 66 for me. Don't forget, we're trying to figure out. Han says, well, I thought we'd blank. We'll find out the answer for that tomorrow. Jordan, can you come back tomorrow and join us?
Only if you promise to let me win at Match Game no matter what.
We can try.
Okay.
All our answers are they're going to be locked away. We're going to send them to Price Waterhouse. So
yeah, but whatever I say, just say I was right.
there you go. Alex is going to be introducing the minute. So Alex, you got it. Whatever you introduce the minute with, whatever Jordan says.
You have to predict. You have to predict what I predicted.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to Karnak it.
I know Jordan doesn't like to lose, so that's I'm going to let him win. So
I don't ever get tired of winning.
No. Who does really?
Like Charlie Sheen.
Hey, if you are tired of winning and you want to take a nap, why not go to StarWarsMinute.com/merch and order a blanket? Because we can get most of our designs from Threadless. The Threadless shop has blankets and bath mats and shower curtains and all kinds of fun stuff that you can
Oh,
get.
not the graphic novel blankets. I thought you were talking about the book.
No.
No.
Go there. You can order all that kinds of stuff with fun Alex Robinson designs on it. And then meet us back here tomorrow for a brand new Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.